Hello everyone, welcome back once again to CareerQ, a place to curate your career. In today's video, I will be talking about the bond structure. I had created a previous video in which I had explained what bond is and what happens if you break a bond, is it important to follow the bond or not, and a lot more. And you guys had several questions based on different situations that you guys were stuck in, and this compelled me actually, because I tried to answer a lot of you, but still I found that there was a lot of confusion. So that compelled me to bring this video out so that I can explain you better that what will happen if you are absconding, if you're breaking a bond. What can these organizations do with you, and how can you tackle with these problems? Also, if you are somebody who is breaking the notice period bond, because several organizations have a term that you need to serve this amount of these number of days before you get released from the organization. So if you are somebody who is not ready or not willing to serve this this time of notice period, then what are the consequences and a lot more. I will discuss all about it in today's video. But before starting the video, if you're new to the channel and have not yet subscribed, then do subscribe. Always remember that your one subscription gives me a lot of motivation to make this content for you. And with that being said, let's get started with the video. So the first and foremost thing is that we all know that a majority of jobs from the software sector comes from these multinational companies, who are often the service-based companies also. Now, these service-based companies, majority of them have bond clauses, and be it Capgemini, be it TCS, Accenture, or several other multinational companies, service-based companies, they do have this bond structure that you need to serve us for 1 year or 2 years, and if you fail to do so, you need to pay a certain amount, and this is mentioned on your offer letter, and you sign it and you give it to them. So it is a clause that is there in your offer, and as per what the offer letter says, they can take legal actions against you. And which is very true. If you are somebody who has absconded before completing this period, then you might also be somebody who is about to face legal action or already facing a legal action. So let us understand this situation. So there can be two kinds of people, okay? The first ones are those who have joined the company as a fresher and have signed this bond agreement, and in the beginning days itself, you have found a certain job at a certain other place which is much better than the current job, and you abscond. When I say certain days, it can be 3 months or 6 months, and over there also you join in as a fresher. Okay, so this can be a fairly simple case, because over there they will not be asking you your relieving letter and your experience letter and all those kind of things. They will not demand, because you are joining over there as a fresher. So you can actually come out clean. Okay, you don't need those letters. So yes, in those cases, you can the scenario can be pretty much easy for you. Of course, your UAN will be created by then, but still, if you're joining in as a fresher, generally, because they don't expect the relieving letters, so it doesn't create much of a problem. However, if you are somebody who has worked for say take a situation that your bond clause is for 2 years and you have worked within the organization for 1.5 years or 1.25 years, and now you are at a situation that you want to go and join a new job, you have a new job, and there you claim that you're not a fresher. Right? You claim that you're not a fresher and that you are currently working in this particular company. So in that case, if you leave and if you break the bond, then the first thing is you will not get your relieving letter. You will not get your experience letter, and things might get stuck when your background verification is taking place, because they will ask for your relieving and experience letters, and if you fail to provide those, then things can get stuck over there. So in those cases, what I suggest is that either you need to wait to complete your bond period, or you pay that amount that they are asking for. If you break the bond, there is a certain clause that you need to pay. So you just pay them the amount, and you come out clean, and you get all those letters, and you give it to your new organization when your background verification is being conducted. So this is one way out. Now, the major question that people say or ask is that if today I leave my current organization, if I break the bond, will there be any legal action? Then let me tell you that yes. there will definitely be a legal action, because we all know that these multinational companies, they do have a set of lawyers as well. These lawyers are called corporate lawyers. There are several agencies also. So big organizations like TCS, they give this thing to a certain agency, a complete different small company who is full of these corporate lawyers, and these lawyers take the case further, and whatever notice they send you is not from the HR. Now it is from the lawyers, the corporate lawyers that these organizations have communicated with, or they have hired themselves. Okay, so do you need to worry if you get any such email wherein you have these threatening kind of views? Say for example, they have sent you an email in which they have asked you to give their recovery amount, and you are in a position that you can pay them that amount, and you don't want to fall into a lot of mental difficulties and a lot of mental strain. You don't want to get yourself into that kind of a situation. Then yes, you can go and upfront, you can pay. In that legal notice that you will get, they will mention everything, even the bank account in which you need to make that payment. So you can straight away go and you can make that payment, and you can reply on that email that yes, I have made this payment, and things will get sorted. But what if you do not want to pay that amount, or you're not in a position to pay that amount? Okay, so in that case, you will get a first notice, then you will get certain reminders, and then finally you will get a notice that now this case will be taken to the court. And do they take this case to court? Yes, they do. However, what we have heard, actually I consulted with a lawyer, and what we have heard, that the court does not entertain these kind of cases. Okay, so although these things are taken to the court, but they do not entertain these kind of cases. Why? Because this is just a thing of taking money back, and this is not a criminal offense. Okay, you have broken a bond, that is not a criminal offense. Since this thing of breaking the bond does not come under a criminal offense, thus the courts don't take these cases seriously. However, when I tried to know more, I tried reading on the internet, I tried several sources. When I tried to know more, all the situations that I read are not complete. Like they have said that yes, they were provided, they were asked after a few days, they were asked to give this amount and everything. But nowhere have they mentioned that, they have not paid and they have gotten out of the situation. No. So it's just an open answer. So majorly what I think is that people do not want to go through such a mental strain and so much of mental difficulty. So that is why majority of the people would have paid the amount. That is the conclusion that I reached when I did my set of research. However, if you do not want to pay the amount and you still want to get out of the organization, then what I suggest is you go and read your offer letter over and over and over again, and be crystal clear what is mentioned. If you break the bond, what is mentioned after that. Okay, also if you are not able to understand, then do take your offer letter to a nearby corporate lawyer. Please know there are a lot of corporate lawyers in the cities, especially big cities. So just take your offer letter to a corporate lawyer and make them read the entire clause, and let them be the judge, whether you should take this step or you shouldn't. Okay, please don't do these kind of activities in haste, because in the end, although it is not a criminal offense, but it will create problems when you are further joining in other companies, when your background verification will happen. Okay, so if you are a fresher, not much of a problem. But if you have worked for a certain amount of time, and in your second job or your third job you're claiming that you have worked in this particular organization, they will definitely ask you for the experience letter, and there things can get stuck. Also, not to forget that if you are somebody who wants to pursue higher studies and wants to go out, or even in India if you want to pursue, then you claim that you have a work experience of say 4 years, 5 years, whatever. So in that case also they will ask you for your leaving letters, experience letters, and if you are not able to provide them, then it will cause difficulty for you. So for your good only, it is better to give them that amount and take your letters, because these corporate people, they are not our relatives or friends. They work in a separate way. It's all business, right? Nobody is nobody's. So you need to understand this, and based on the situation, of course it's situation to situation based, and based on that you need to take wise steps, and just don't follow this trend that okay, certain person, I read on the internet that certain person did this and he or she didn't face anything, so I can also do. No, That is not how things work. Don't do these things in haste, because it can cause an effect on you heavily. Also, if you do these kind of things, then these companies, they have this ability, they are in that position to reduce your CIBIL score. They can say that you are a person who has absconded, they have your PAN, they have your UAN, so of course they can claim that you have absconded, and they can reduce your CIBIL score. Now, what is this CIBIL score? Whenever you will go further to take loans, or if you go to get a credit card, or if you want to buy something over EMI, then these people, they check your CIBIL score, whether you are a trustworthy person or not. And if these corporates, if you have such kind of history and they have reduced your CIBIL score, then getting any of these things will be very, very difficult for you. So for your own good, if you are in a position to pay that amount, then do pay. If you are not in a position to pay that amount, then try to serve the entire period. And if things are all haywire, then you can take a risk, but it can bring you a bit of mental strain, as I said. So yeah, that's about the bond structure. Now let's talk about the notice period. So notice period, what I have seen, that generally these corporates have 3 months of notice period. And when we give interviews, then these corporates, they expect immediate joiners, and sometimes, because we are so greedy of a new job, I know that feeling. So because we want that new job so much, that we say that, okay, yes, we can join at this time and in this period, but actually that is not possible. Okay, so here also you need to be very clear with your current organization and your new organization as well. You can claim, or you can tell your new organization that if I come early, then I will have to not work, or I won't be able to serve that notice period. So in that case, I would need to pay the money. Will you be willing to give me that amount? You can clearly ask your new organization and ask for them to give this amount, because in the end it's them because of whom you're not serving the notice period. So you can try this thing out, and if they are willing, if they are a big organization, like I know that if Big Four, or certain other companies like ZS Associates and Zycus and those kind of organizations who are big organizations, they do give the candidate that amount, that for the number of days that the candidate is not able to serve the notice period. However, if your new organization has said no, this is your problem and you need to manage it, and in your current organization it is not listening and it is not ready to reduce your notice period, then you do have to pay that amount from your pocket. And yes, it is mandatory, because after serving this entire time, because of this 1 or 2 months, if you don't get your relieving letter and your experience letter, it makes no sense. That's why you need to serve the notice period, or pay the notice amount, the compensation amount, that if you're not serving that notice period. So yes, these payments are important. Also, there is one question and one confusion also that people have, is that they do not receive an immediate communication, and they receive a communication further later in their life. And yes, this happens. These things might take time. There are several people who get this notification of giving the recovery amount in 1 or 2 months. There are several others who get it in 6 months or maybe 1 year, but there are several others who get it in 2 years, 3 years, even 5 years later, after they have absconded, or after they have not served notice period, whatever they have done. After that, they have not heard, and they thought that they are out of that situation, and they're simply free. But 4 years, 5 years down the line, they receive an email that you have these amounts pending in our account, and if you do not pay, then we will be taking legal action. So the timeline of this communication, it is not fixed, but thinking that you are completely out of the situation, that is also not guaranteed. So yeah, it might be that you come into a situation that you need to pay the bond amount. What I say is, you should pay it, because else they will just torture you, they'll just cause a mental drain to you. And if you do not want to, then you just go to a lawyer first, just to know how to in order to, if something like this happens, then how do you deal with that situation, and keep that lawyer, make him write the emails, do that kind of thing. Don't do it blindly from yourself. No, that is not at all advised, because these are legal matters. Of course, it will not pose they cannot pose a criminal offense right now, but you never know when the policies can change and this becomes one of the criminal offenses. your record itself as a citizen will get damaged. So I hope that I have been able to help you clear out everything. I have talked about all the different aspects that I thought were relative. If there is anything that I might have missed out, and there is anything that maybe you have done, or maybe someone you know has done and has faced or has come out of the situation, anything, then put them down in the comment section. It will definitely help the others who are in a similar plight. And if you want to connect with me one-to-one, then you can come over to topmate.io. I have posted the link in the video as well as in the description box. You can come over and ask as many questions as you want, and if you have any confusion on your career, what technology you should work on, what career path you should take, which organization you should join, all of those kind of questions, I can definitely answer you. If you want me to cover anything else in my videos, then put them down as well. I'll definitely try to make videos out of them. I'll come again tomorrow with another new video. Till then, stay tuned to CareerQ. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.